Good morning. It's January the 7th already. And I reminded myself when I sat down this morning that I will usually do a card reading at the beginning of the month. But with all the Christmas and everything going on, I kind of forgot that. But I sat down to do it. The other thing I'm trying to figure out is my camera angle on this computer. And I'm still not 100% happy with how it ends up taking what would you say, my blind that I have here on the window. But anyway, here I am. And 7 days into the year, it's how fast it goes, how fast it goes. So I'm just going to go through the symbols with you. And so as I did it for the month of January, the first symbol we had here is the Seven of Cups, which to me says that's the high expectations we have at the beginning of every year. You know, we always think, oh, well, this year is going to be different or something that's going to occur or take place. And as we know, there has been some very interesting worldwide things this first week, which I won't touch on. And I'm not a political narrator, even though maybe in my mind I am. Um, so coming into this, we're looking at the Chariot. Now, the one thing about the Chariot is that they're leaving behind the old and stepping out. There's a lot of spiritual symbology in the Chariot. For instance, see the square on the middle of his chest. So he has achieved from his heart a sense of being. But he's starred on the top of his head. There is a star. But best of all, he's got a white oxen and a black oxen ready to pull his chariot. He's not really moving at this point, but the city is behind him. Represents changes. And to me, that's where we're at right now. Changes that are occurring. And even though it's kind of the end of the first week, it's this next symbol, which is the Ace of Swords, kind of goes along with that. Problems being resolved, problems being achieved. Now, with the Ace of Swords, it's got two parts to it. And one of the things is when I'm reading it for a person, where does my eye go? Does my eye go to the crown on top of the sword, which means everything is resolved, or does it go to the confusion of the leaves around the sort of just before the handle? And I want to be, when I'm looking at this here, is drawn to that confusion a little bit. And I think that makes sense with what's happening in the world right now. It seems everything is kind of sped up. Decisions are being made, things are occurring, things are very much changing. And that is what these first three symbols can depict. So I want to sort of jump forward to around the 10th. And then we get the King of Pentacles, where everything sort of settles down to a large degree. Everything begins to find its home or its niche or a sense of being of where it is. The sort of upheaval in the beginning sort of settles down. That is also displayed by the next symbol, which is the Ten of Cups. Happy, happy. So everybody's happy. Everyone settles down. Everyone finds their place. It looks really good. So we're going to go now. We're up to about the 12th, 13th of the month. And now we run into the Page of Swords. Fighting, animosity, people not agreeing. And that also completes on with the next symbol. And I'm going to suggest that from the mid-month, well, even a bit before that, from the 13th till about the 21st, it's going to be whatever's going on usually I look at North America, but it feels worldly. There's going to be argument and dissension. It's not going to be usual whatever's happening. And it's not until we get actually into about the 22nd third of the month, even maybe a bit later, then we have the high the Hierophant kind of putting things down a little bit easier. It just feels so unsettled in some ways here. It's just like we're going to be. This is going to be the way it is. This is the way it's settled, and then it's not going to be unsettled, and it's so very disturbing. And then we come back into okay, that we're going to take that this way. And when we take a look at the final card in this type I do, we got the Two of Pentacles, where the economics are flowing around. It's an interesting month, actually. It reminds me of the seesaws we used to do as a kids. I don't think they're so obvious in the parks anymore. Not that I go around, but because some people get hurt on them because of the way they go up and down. But we used to play on them as kids. So one minute you're up, and the next minute you're down. But you've got to have cooperation to be able to make it work. And it's got to be similar weight or it doesn't work. And this is what it feels like to me. We have some very strong symbology that says, okay, this is what we're doing. And then we have a lot of basic dissension. Then bringing back into sort of the authority again and hoping that everything is okay, but it's very fractious. Actually, it'll be interesting from my perspective to see what next month brings, because I just feel when I look at this, it's not very grounded. There's some aspects that you could say, well, that fits into the grounding part of it, but there's just hope goes along with the anxiety that I see here. Hope that things will be better, hope that things will work out, hope that everything comes together. But the reality is, I don't think they know what they're doing. Personally, looking at this, it's like this is how whoever's commanding the world, I guess you could say. And usually I'm looking at North America and I'm feeling like I'm reading for the world, but really I'm usually just doing it for US and Canada to see what's happening over here. But it feels bigger. And it feels like every time we get something like, okay, this is settled, we've got this sorted, something else breaks out. And so it's not an easy element of how it works or how it goes or what's happening or what is going. So I'm going to put that aside because I want to talk about something else, because that is, I don't want to say disturbing to me, but it is a little disturbing to me because I like things to flow, and this reading does not flow. When it doesn't flow, what happens is that it's choppy, and when you think everything, oh, okay, everything's resolved, the next minute everything is not resolved. So with the new year gone, and we make our resolutions if we make them, and we want everything. Now is how to set goal. Oh, actually, I don't know where I got lost. I did my card reading for the year where I do one month thing all the way through to find out what I was dealing with. I forgot to put goals in. I forgot to write down what I wanted to happen. So I might be doing that on the next couple of days, just a little bit late, but it just seems like that's kind of the energy that's running around there, or maybe it's just me. I've been incredibly tired the last few days, like exhausted. For what reason? I have no idea. It's not like I'm doing anything particularly, but it's just been really, really tiring. And I'm actually, I was sitting down thinking about what I was going to talk about today. And excuse me. And I realized that the reading needed to be done, which still boggles me a bit. And the other element was the power of the thank you. I usually talk about something like this on Sunday when I do a Sunday thought, but so I thought I would just bring that in today. when you desire something or when you have your goal list of what you're wanting to create, the key is, first of all, to know that what you want can be. The second thing is to give the power of the thank you. Thank you for this. And then let it go. Release it. Very often, what tends to happen is we worry it to death, so to speak. How's it going to happen? What am I going to do? How's this going to come about? All of those little things that go on in the mind that kind of makes us go a little crazy, actually. But it's like just being sure. I always used to say when I was teaching this a lot, take it to a knowing place inside. Even though the pieces may not fit, it may not look fit, just work it so that inside you, there is a knowing place. Don't know how, don't know when, but it will be. And then be thankful about that. I'm thankful that is going to happen. I did lots of changes at times in my life with using that. The power of the thank you, we forget that very, very often. So when we say thank you for what it is that we are desiring or wanting, that it brings forth. So until next Wednesday, this is the first, until the next month, when I take a look at this reading here, do not be surprised what occurs. I think that's the message that this reading gave me. It's almost even now on my shoulder. It's just unsettling because there was no run. Usually we have a run of some forms of symbology that gives you a very good idea as to where we're heading and where we're coming. This reading did not do that. This reading was like, this is here, this is here, this is here. And every time it turned into some kind of unsettlement. So I hope your month goes better personally. I hope that works really personally better so that you're able to relax. And remember, the goal setting, which we usually do in January, can go on all the time and we can correct them and change them. But the key really is to make sure that you believe whatever it is that you want for yourself takes place and that you are grateful for that. And for that, then we're going to let this go. I'm going to say goodbye in a minute. I wanted to say hello to Yvonne. Thank you for coming on and thank you for your comment. Appreciate that. And just remember this month may be up and down a little bit. So just ride it. And remember, I do, as I said, North America, but this felt like the world. So there is kind of an outreaching that's going on for sure. So just be aware, and we let the ripples, the ripples of life just flow through, and not get maybe caught up in it or be aware of it. And I'll be looking forward to the beginning of February, which seems to be coming already quickly, because I always find January a long month. But anyway, it's coming. And we'll see then if there's any changes on the world scene that is impeding on our North America. So you have a good day. I'll be back again on Sunday for sure. Probably end up doing Are You Unaware on the end of the cups. We'll see. I just always have to make up my mind. And Marianne says hello too. Yeah, she says, very interesting reading for sure. I was all over the place with it. It didn't flow well. I like it when they flow. Didn't flow well. That's another of the little incident that goes with it. So have a good day, and I'll see you on Sunday. It doesn't feel like Wednesday to me today for some reason, so that's probably why I'm feeling a bit discombobulated. Bye now. Enjoy today and tomorrow, Friday, etc. Bye.